Hi, I'm Olivia, and today we are going to be talking about Steve Lacy because I have been seeing so much about him, and this is inspired by watching a video called How TikTok Ruined Steve Lacy, and it's just been on my mind ever since I watched the video. So let's get started. Let's cover the history of Steve Lacy, let's cover his discography, how he came to be, and all of that jazz. Steve Lacy is in high school in California. I believe he's from Compton as well. So he is in jazz band, and when he's in high school, he's Christian. He runs track and field. Like, I've really been on deep dives of this man because I've seen videos of him being a little boy and doing high school things. So he's in the jazz band. Obviously, he's an exceptional musician, and he is recognized by Jamil Bruno, who is Thundercat's little brother, and that's how he gets a connection and joins the internet. So that boy is young. When he is in the internet, he's still in high school. Insane. So I became a fan of the internet in like 2015, but the first song I heard was Don't Ya from Feel Good. What an amazing song. Like, to this day it has just endured, and it's almost 10 years old. Like, it's just a bop. The internet released Ego Death in 2015, and the last project they released was Hive Mind in 2018. I saw them on the Hive Mind tour in Manchester in 2019. Literally one of the best live shows I've ever been to in my entire life. Oh, it was angelic, it was mythical, it was magical, it was just beautiful. And Steve Lacy was there. He was playing the guitar, singing with his amazing, incredible, just beautiful voice. Oh, it was just, like, I even reflect on that moment and just go back and imagine how I was feeling in that crowd. Like, it was just so good. And I'd been a fan of the internet for years before I got to see them, and just on that night I was just like, yes. Oh, chef's kiss. Like, it was just a beautiful time. Then after that, they went and did their solo things. Sid, Matt Martians, Steve Lacy, and there is another member of the band who I am not really sure about their musical projects, but like the others I'm involved with as well. So Steve Lacy, as an individual artist, he releases music for the first time in 2016 with Some, absolute banger, tuney banger. Then his crazy success is with Dark Red in 2017, off the charts, and the boy recorded it on his iPhone. Hello? Like, he did the whole thing on his iPhone. This is why I'm a Steve Lacy fan. He has a TED Talk explaining that, and I find that really inspiring. Like, not that I'm gonna go and make music on my iPhone, not that I haven't done that, but like, to see somebody who is so successful and is an amazing musician say, okay, this is something I made and is accessible to everyone, for young artists, that must be so inspiring to look at. Like, that's just so cool. So his debut album was in 2019. It's Apollo XXI. He's got the beautiful album cover with that crazy sofa thing in bright orange. What an album. A post-it note just fell down because I literally wrote post-it notes so I didn't forget anything. Then he released The Lo-Fi's, which wasn't an album, it was like a mixtape, in 2020, and in 2022 he blessed us with Gemini Rights, which is where we are right now and what we're going to talk about more later on. He has a crazy discography. He works with Kendrick Lamar on Damn, which we know is so, like, insanely and highly critically acclaimed. He's worked with Thundercat, Goldlink. He was the first person ever to do a feature with Vampire Weekend. Like, he's just got a badass discography. Like, he is an amazing artist. He's also on 911 / Mr. Lonely with Tyler, the Creator. Like, look at the connections here. Like, the boy is doing bits. Let's talk about his current era and the Give You the World tour. This year Steve Lacy released Gemini Rights. On it is the single Bad Habits, and this absolutely blew up on TikTok. Like, Bad Habit did numbers. It's opened him up to a completely different audience of people, like a different era. Okay, now let's cover the controversies of Steve Lacy. If this was a Wikipedia article, it would be under a little tab of controversies. Here's the two things. One, he's been accused of being a colorist because he said that he only dates white men and he's not interested in black boys. And two, at the start of 2020, before things got bad, a fan left a comment on his Instagram and he was like, you need to come to Asia. And he replied, you need a vaccine. That's what you need. And people got very annoyed at him replying that. So, honourable mention to Atomic Vomit and his Instagram fits. Like, it's just a very interesting, artistic, money, like, consumerism thing to look at. It's interesting. So, moving on to the current Steve Lacy era, okay? He is currently on the Give You the World tour. And the song Bad Habit from Gemini Rights, his latest album, blew up on TikTok. Like, it was doing numbers, like numbers have never been done before. Like, crazy. And this has opened him up to a whole other world of fans, of new Steve Lacy fans. There's a new Steve Lacy cohort coming through the doors. And this has changed the way that he has the dynamic of a live show. So there's video footage of him going around because this tour has started of him singing Bad Habit, and people cannot sing the song past the, do you know, it's a classic thing. He sings, the crowd responds, and they can't sing the lyrics. They can't sing the lyrics to the song.
The way nobody sang the next verse embarrassing as.
And I was just thinking, like, this must be crazy for an artist to experience, especially someone like him. So before this song blew up, all of the venues would have been booked. They would have been smaller because they knew that they would sell out before he had this new, hype. So the venues are small and they're being taken over and swarmed by the TikTok fans, the new era of Steve Lacy fans, not the originals like me, but I don't know why I'm acting like it makes me superior, but anyway. People who don't know about the rest of his music are coming to his shows, and it's completely changing the dynamics of things. And there was also recently a report where somebody chucked a camera at him on stage and he just broke it and went off. And I just love live music, and I think it's like a very sacred thing, and it's a very beautiful thing that we should get to experience. Obviously, I've told you, like, it was years ago that I went to see the internet, but it's just a beautiful memory that I reflect on. I just think live music is so important, and I have also seen things recently about, like, there being no etiquette around live music because obviously the past few years have changed what live music is like. So I was just thinking, what must it be like to be a musician? What must it be like for him as a musician to see how TikTok has changed the consumption of his music? So it's crazy to see this trend of music being sped up. Now, there's always trends like chopped and screwed, slowed and reverb, sped up. Like, people making edits like that have been around for years and years. But artists are actually releasing sped up versions. Steve Lacy did a sped up version of Bad Habit, and Lana Del Rey has also released a sped up version of one of her songs. I can't remember which it is. But naturally we're speeding things up on TikTok because there's such a small amount of time. Like, everyone's attention spans are just going, like, they're so small. So there's sped up versions. I'm guilty of consuming them. I don't know why, it tickles my brain to listen to them. So it's really interesting to see that playing out, and that has changed the way that people create music. Okay, maybe speeding something up isn't changing how you've created it, but people are recognizing, okay, there's a market for this, people want to see this, and it's influenced by TikTok and the short watch time and short attention span people have on TikTok. Of course, there's plenty of other artists who make music specifically to blow up on TikTok. Songs that have little to no substance, but one part that we know is really catchy, and that's the rest of that. But Steve Lacy is not one of those artists. Like, he is a musician. Like, he was in jazz band. Hello, he has, you know, it's not to dismiss the people who are making it just to get clout and do whatever and blow up and do numbers on TikTok, because somebody's consuming that. Somebody's consuming that, but it's not me. But I'm saying Steve Lacy isn't someone who's created music just to blow up on TikTok. He's an artist who already had an established fan base, and to see the change at live shows must be crazy. Some artists mustn't like performing live shows, even if they would never admit it. Some artists must absolutely love it, because that's a moment where you get to connect with a fan, someone who has changed your life and put you into that position, because your fan is the one who's consuming your music. Every time they stream that music, you're getting a little cut of the money. When you have a true fan, they're going to come to your show, they're going to buy your merch, and that is what funds you, that's what changes your life and the way that you live. So to have live music and have these moments where you connect with fans must be a beautiful exchange if you're an artist, I would assume. And to see that change from, you know, playing a small intimate venue and having connections with people who love you and love your music, and then seeing it change to someone who can't repeat the words of your own song back to you, which it's like, why would you even buy a ticket to be there if you didn't like the artist truly? It must be really interesting. And I think the concept of being on tour as an outsider looks and sounds amazing. Like, you get to travel the world and stuff like that. But most of the time, artists aren't even doing these world tours in luxury. Like, they'll be on the tour bus. Like, they must be so tired. They have to be in different places all the time. They can't really get to experience the places that they're visiting. They have to be in tip-top physical shape. They have to rest their voice all the time. Like, it's very intense, but I feel like the one redeeming quality of that would be that you get to go out on stage, you get to have this beautiful moment connecting with the people in the crowd, and it must be so irritating to be on this, like, disorienting, like, being uprooted and having all of this chaos in your life to be able to perform music across the world, and you don't even get the reward of coming out and connecting with people because they don't know your music. That's just a thought. That is just a thought. I've had many thoughts, because ever since I watched that video somebody else made, it's just been playing on my mind. Also, the fact that I'm not going to be able to go and see Steve Lacy in concert in London this December is breaking my heart, because I already have other plans, but, like, let's not, because he's released 2 projects since the last time I saw him. It's fine. I hope everyone else there has the most amazing time ever. I'm not going to be able to look or even think about consuming content of people being there, because I should be a front row. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and listening to me talk about Steve Lacy for however long. I'll see you later. Goodbye.